Hello, and thank you for joining me for this testimonial. Today, Hosna Shahin has so graciously offered to do a testimonial for my work and consciousness alignments. And I've been working with her for a while because she's been my marketing manager for the last year. And she's told me some, pretty amazing results. And she's offered to do this testimonial. So I thank you so very much, Hosna, for doing this.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I just want everyone to know about consciousness alignment.
So before we met, had you ever experienced anything like a consciousness alignment?
So I'm not big in meditation and stuff like that, but I did try self-hypnosis for weight loss before, and that was when I was in college. So for an entire year, it actually did work, but I was listening to self-hypnosis recording daily, and I was very committed, and I listened to it like more than once every day. And I did lose weight, so it did kind of work, but like I don't know what happened. I stopped listening to it, and then everything fell apart from there. And it was very exhausting, like remembering to listen to it each and every day.
So you experienced that, but how are the consciousness alignments different? How are they different from like self-hypnosis and other things that you've tried?
So the big thing that's different is that I didn't really listen to the consciousness alignments more than once. I actually did listen to it, like I listened to a conscious alignment once, and then that's it. And then when I have a problem, a different problem, I listen to a different consciousness alignment. So actually over the time that we've been working together, we've done a lot of different consciousness alignments, and all I had to do, like on my part, is just listen to it once and like really focus and hone in on, focus on listening to it and be present in the moment, and that was it. So I guess that's the big difference in what I've been doing with self-hypnosis before, but the effects are much better.
So what changes have you experienced in your life as a result of listening to these consciousness alignments?
Okay, so like there are many things that I want to cover. So we did multiple different consciousness alignments on different things. So let's start from the beginning. So I had problems with my husband and not feeling connected to him, and feeling out of touch, not feeling loved, and a lot of different stuff. And we did a consciousness alignment, I guess, once, and another version of it second time. Uh, and like this shifted the way I'm looking at the relationship and shifted the way my husband is reacting to our relationship. And we're in a much, much better place now than we were before. And I'd like to think like it is really the effects of the consciousness alignments that we did, because in some way I shifted and he shifted and the problems kind of like disappeared, which is so much nicer now. So that is with my relationship with my husband. I've also had like so much financial stress, and like I need to do this in this way and this way and this way, and like get to this number, and I was so stressed out from everything financially related. And after doing consciousness alignments about like letting go about how I want the results to show up, or letting go to how I want things specifically, things started to get like calmer, the stress kind of went away, and things started to flow differently. So I love that. Like I'm a much better place mentally. Financially, it is coming. I think it's kind of building up, but you kind of say for everything that there is an incremental period, and like things didn't happen. So things didn't happen immediately, but they started shifting like step by step. The other big thing that shifted for me is health related and weight related. Like now I find it so much easier to like go to the gym every day and work out every day. I actually find it enjoyable. I prefer doing it to sitting at home now. And much easier to eat healthier food and find healthier options. And I've been losing a lot of weight on a consistent basis for a couple of months now. That has made me much happier. So a lot of different, and we did this also consciousness alignments for spiritual connection, because I was having some fallout, like the way I feel with my relationship to God, and that kind of healed with time too. So yeah, so I think we covered different areas in my life, and at this point, like after a couple of months, like I've seen like clear changes in all of them, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. So what are some of the applications that you feel people can use consciousness alignments for in their own lives?
So the applications are actually like anything that can come to mind. I think for myself, I used it for like financial stress, financial gain, and for relationship, healing the relationship with my husband and my relationship with myself, with food, with every, like any kind of problem that kinds of come up, like we, like in the group calls, we addressed it, and it was great, like seeing other people experience other problem, and then it get addressed for the whole group. So anything really, like we covered a lot of different topics on multiple different things, and it kind of had the effect that we wanted to have.
Awesome. And was there any, like, what did you feel? So what did you experience when you were experiencing a consciousness alignment? Was there anything that was different?
Well, for me, I never really felt anything during our consciousness alignments. Like I would be present and say yes to myself and like feel good about, like, yes, this is what we want. But physically, like in the sensation or body sensation, I didn't really feel anything. Sometimes, like I would, if I'm closing my eyes and really focus, I'd feel a little bit lightheaded, uh, but nothing more than that.
Okay. So then people can, whether they're feeling something or not, the effects are still there. So, because a lot of people say, oh, I feel this or I feel that, and then other people will feel kind of left out. But here's a glowing testimonial of, even though you may not be feeling anything in your body, it still works. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, all I had to do was focus and be present and say yes to myself. I didn't really feel anything in my body or anything,
Great.
But it still worked.
Great. And Hosna, was there anything else that you wanted to add before we wrap this up?
Yeah, so one of the things that I was a bit worried about was, would this really apply to me since I'm a Muslim? And does this kind of conflicts with my religion in some way? And what I, like from the first call that we had, I know that you kind of address it in the, it kind of applies to everyone, and everyone can think about what is their higher power and ask them. So when I was, and I applied that when we were doing the consciousness alignment, and focused that I want like God to help me with this and not have it be general. So what I want to say is basically that this kind of work doesn't really apply to a certain religion, or you have to think about like we're doing this or doing that. It's kind of open and general and applies to everyone, and everyone just need to think about like who do they see as their higher power. And Great. So it worked for me.
Great. Thank you so very much, Hosna, for doing this. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay, for doing this work.